shambles. I hate the act of moving. I hate the act of packing. I hate everything that comes with it. I hate unpacking. I hate thinking about where things need to go. It stresses me the out. I have one more exam tomorrow, and it's been killing me. Just the thought of it makes me want to cripple. I also said goodbye to like half my friends already, which is really sad. But I just want to get home though. Like I want all this to be over. I want to skip till Wednesday morning, and I want to be home in New England. I want to be with the trees. I want to feel New England air. I'm hyped for that, but it's also really, really sad just leaving all this. I want to miss. Actually, okay, to be fair, I'm not that sentimental about leaving the storm. I'm more than happy to leave the storm. I lived in the shittiest storm my freshman year. This is considered the shittiest, and I'm moving to a pretty nice storm next year, so I'm absolutely forward for that. I don't know. It's still kind of sad. I'm still kind of, I don't know. It really hasn't hit me yet, but I mean, there's hella memories in here. You know, at the end of the day, it's just a room. Those memories can still exist, but this little 10 by 10 musty, dusty, cockroach infested dorm. Well, weird to think that someone else will live here though. That's something I haven't really thought about. I just need to take the stat test and I need to do well on it.
It's a lovely game, Louise, but it's not the same Louise. As if he loved you the way you want to be loved. It's a lovely game, you say. For what he wants, he has to pay. But when his debt is over, he flies from your side. Your eyes are open wide. Is it just your pride that keeps it all inside and makes you believe it's a lovely game you play, Louise?
See, for me, Dunkin' is a novelty item. It's like, I have to get the same thing every time. I don't like iced coffee with caramel. Like, I don't like that. But at Dunkin', I love it. It's a science. It's the same thing every time. And it's gonna hit. Because the iced coffee is hard to fuck up. When you start getting a latte at Dunkin', that's when it gets a little risky. That's when you're like questioning whether or not it's gonna be potable or not. I've actually never been to this Dunkin' before, so I'm excited to try it. Damn roads. Like, you literally are driving into fucking... Oh, this is sketch. This could get bad. Do I risk it? I feel like I could do it in my Subaru. Should I try? I don't want to like have to get AAA down here. I haven't done this shit in fucking years. This car's like on its last leg. Come on, Faye. Come on, Faye. Power through, baby. Power through. Oh my god. I have a fucking no will to fucking live. Every time, baby. This is some off-roading, bro. Oh my god. Oh my god. Just keep driving, baby. Come on, Faye. I think this is my last time driving up here. I don't have a Jeep. I have a fucking Subaru, bro. It's a fucking Subaru Outback. I don't want ticks. Like, in my Subaru Outback, I drove to the top. Y'all didn't even see the road. Oh, how happy I am to be back.
Such a lovely game.
It doesn't get prettier than this place. I swear to God, it's my favorite place on earth. In honor of being home, I got Dunkin' because I think it's pretty well known that Dunkin' is a New England staple. I could literally be driving anywhere and I'd see one. There's one within 3 minutes of me at any given point, no matter where I go. Is it good? I agree with the masses, no. Is it a novelty item? Yes. Like, would I ever order a caramel iced coffee at like a normal coffee shop? God, no. But at Dunkin', of course. Oh, is this guy coming towards me? Is this geezer gonna say I'm not allowed here? Yeah. Do you mean to move? Really? Okay, I'm sorry, I can move. Well, that was good while it lasted. I've driven up here like probably 10 times. That's the first time I've gotten yelled at for it. I thought it was allowed. Like, I've seen multiple people with their cars up there. That person was really understanding. They were just like, you can move down the hill right now if you want. And they waved at me on the way out, but still. Welcome back. So, I tried to film this video already. The view looked beautiful, the background was beautiful. I filmed it on my big camera. So like, I had it like planned out. And then like 15 minutes into filming, someone came up and was like, your car can't be here. So I decided I'm just gonna film it again. And this time I'm gonna film it on my iPhone, as I typically do. I hate filming on my big camera. I feel like it doesn't look like how I want my videos to look. It kind of looks a little too professional, which I don't jive with. It also stresses me out talking to an actual camera. It feels unnatural. I decided I'm just gonna completely scrap everything I filmed because my words weren't coherent. People kept walking up to me and I kept getting distracted. So I decided I'm gonna just do this from home in my kitchen as I cook dinner. What I'm cooking for dinner is kind of a mystery still. I don't entirely know yet. I think the main ingredients are gonna be tortillas and chicken breast. Thinking burritos, I think that's the best option. You know, believe it or not, I was actually vegetarian for I think a year and 3/4. This past March, I gave it up, which was kind of sad and was really defeating. I was so proud of the fact that I could exist as a vegetarian. And then at college, I really got malnourished. It's just so hard to eat a good balanced plant-based diet while at college. I did the best I could, but I think I'm in a much better spot now. It also just makes me perform a lot better while working out, which I think is a big plus. I got back from college a little over 3 weeks ago. It's been so nice being back. It really has. I've been outside like almost every day. I miss that so much. I also miss the ability to bike everywhere. I spent like the first 2 weeks of my time being back biking every day. But yeah, it's been great being back. I also have been loving seeing my friends. I miss them so fucking much. So I'm happy that I'm here again. The end of the semester got really negative. I had 4 essays and 2 final exams, and I don't think I've ever been more challenged academically in my entire life. I'm being so genuine. I overloaded my schedule this semester. I took that more classes than the higher end of the class load they recommend. In retrospect, was not a good idea. It was fine throughout the semester, like I was able to keep up, but when you have like finals, it all kind of comes crashing down, and oh boy did it. But I made it out, and I made it out with a great GPA. I'm really happy and I'm really proud of myself. I actually had, my last test was a stat test, as you saw earlier, and the night before I was so stressed I could not sleep at all. I finally fell asleep at like 4 a.m. and the test was the next day. I also had to move out the next day, so I spent all morning packing, and then I finally took the test. I don't remember a single thing that was on that exam. It felt like I walked in, time passed, and I don't even remember that time passing, and then I left. I just like remember there was one moment where I was like, I need to pee, but I couldn't get up and do it because I didn't want to lose time, because that's how stressed I was. I was worried I wasn't going to finish the time, all that. And I finished with 3 minutes to spare. And guess what? I got an A-. Come at me now. Statistics. I'm so beyond happy I'm done with that class. I never have to touch math ever again, which is a blessing. It's such a blessing. All right, I think that's all I had to say about catching up since the last time I talked to you. It was a tough semester. It was very difficult. I'm hyped for next year though. I feel like it'll be a lot better. Kind of know what to expect. So throughout the latter portion of my second semester, I was like formulating a list of things that I wanted to talk about on this channel about college, because this channel like kind of encapsulates my growth as a human, how I've managed to do all of it, and kind of give advice along the way. And as we know, the first 10 chapters were dealing with leaving town and leaving my house and leaving that portion of my life. And I'm hoping these next however many chapters focus on my growth and growing into a whole human being in college. So yeah, I kind of want to give my advice and my notes and my thoughts on my first year of college, because me and my friends kind of sat around and went through this list, and they added some things, and we worked through some things that like none of us realized before coming into college, because obviously there's stuff like homesickness, like making friends, that's like all pretty obvious and a lot of people talk about. But then there's other things that like weren't even in my headspace at the time. So I will bring those to light and I will talk about that. Because I know a lot of you are around my age and a lot of you care about this stuff. And even if you aren't in college, I feel like a lot of this is applicable to any time in your life and any time of growth and change. So yeah, oh my God, I've been talking for so long. I'm gonna start cooking because I need to do that. I'm pretty hungry. All right, I don't really know where to start. I guess we could just jump in. Okay, the first thing I noticed is, and I think this is a pretty well-versed one. Some people are very ingenuine, and college really makes you realize that. I had a couple moments this semester I was like, why am I talking to this person? I was thinking about it, I was like, some of these people really would not care if I died. Which I know is a morbid thought, but it's one that you should ask yourself when you're meeting all these new people. People are self-interested at college. A lot of people are. A lot of people are more focused on how they are perceived rather than their energy they put out into the world, which, I don't know, acting with compassion and acting like you care about another person is something that you should practice. There's a lot of people at college that don't uphold that belief and that same ideology. And I think it's because I had such a good friend group at home, such genuine friendships, that like when I got to college and I didn't find that immediately, I was a little sad. I was a little heartbroken. The biggest way to combat that is to realize what you value and to recognize when people are being fake, and also to, I don't know, understand your worth and limit your energy on those people who are self-interested and do not entirely care about you, if that makes sense. I don't know if that made sense. God, raw chicken is gross. There's a certain amount of like fakeness and nicety you need to have in the first few weeks of college. You can't be the most genuine version of yourself in the first weeks. You have to uphold some amount of fakeness and fake niceties. So yeah, there's a balance there, I guess. But by like week 5 and 6, that's when I was like, okay, I'm ready to like have a genuine conversation with another person. It took me at least a month to 2 months to be like, wow, okay, I can really trust this person. I'm going to talk to them about my feelings and more personal things. So I guess my like overall takeaway from that is just to like be hyper vigilant. And obviously there's a certain extent to which you should act fake and be around fake people. At a certain point, it's like, what am I doing? And I had a couple of those moments this past year. Next, there are so many different types of people with so many different backgrounds. Because I have a lot of friends who aren't from New England. Crazy thought. And I guess because I was, whoa, that's a lot of seasoning. But it's just something you realize at college, and it's something that's really cool about college. I love going out on a limb and talking to new people, meeting up with new people and stuff like that. I think that's, I wouldn't say it's one of my strengths, but it's something I would love to get better at, and it's something that I've been doing at college, which has been nice. So I don't know, I value that diverse thought and diverse background and all that. I found that so interesting at college. Because I don't know, some people grew up in the South and I wanted to hear about that. I have a friend from Idaho and I loved hearing about her childhood. I think that's one of the most beautiful parts of college. Okay, next, more about friendship. I think college highlighted this most because at home, like I said, my friend group was so solid that I haven't made friends in probably... Actually, that's a lie. Senior year, I made a good amount of friends, but they're people I knew my whole life. And that goes to show that, like, I'm getting to my main thesis. Friendship is not about compatibility. Obviously, there's a lot of aspects that rely on that, but it's primarily about effort and the amount of effort you put into caring and being around someone else and hanging out with someone else, you know? It's not just about having the same music taste or having the same fashion sense, you know? Obviously that's going to increase your odds of being good friends because you have more to talk about. But I have friends who are extremely like the extreme opposite of me in a lot of ways, and I get along with them great. Put in the effort. Work for friendships. I think that's the main takeaway I have. I don't know, remember that and like try to talk to new people. I know it's hard and I know it's scary. It's scary for me too, but I don't know, it'll only help you in the long term if you want to make friends, so keep going, keep doing it. Let me cook these up. I would move the camera to show you, but but I don't want to. So now we play the game, what vegetables do I put in my burrito? One thing about me is I love vegetables, and we'll put basically any vegetable in anything. So we're putting cauliflower, green beans, tomato. I wish I had onion. God bless! Whatever, I'll just saute this all. I'm trying to get better at cooking. How beautiful vegetables are. They're crazy. They're so cool, bro. Another thing. No one knows what the fuck they are doing in college. I'm telling you, all of my friends and myself included were all like, what the fuck is going on? I think it was a constant state of like, am I doing the right thing? Am I on the right path? Because college is all future oriented. So I mean, everyone's always just questioning whether or not they're doing the right thing, which is such a terrifying place to be in. Because then it makes you question if you're doing the right thing. So I guess my main advice is like, no one knows what they're doing at all. And that's totally fine. That's what college is all about. You're figuring yourself out. It's not about like knowing exactly what you want, knowing exactly what you want to do. It's about trying your best and figuring out what you want to do. Obviously your major is one thing, but I'm talking about like goals, passions, ambitions, all that is a separate thing for me. Next, feeling comfortable at college and my relationship with that. I would say up until spring break, I felt so viscerally out of place and like imposter syndrome, like crazy while being at college. I just felt like I wasn't in the right spot. I didn't think about transferring anything. I think I realized it was more of a problem with myself. I don't know if I was like fully mentally wrap my head around moving out, but it took a lot out of me. It was a lot of learning. You learned a lot. Throughout all that time, my stress levels never subsided. I was always so stressed for no reason sometimes, which I hate because it's so bad for your body to be stressed. I did get better by the end though with the stress. I think I just got more acclimated to my surroundings. I got used to where I was living, which took a while for me. It's really not easy moving that far away from people you care about into like a whole new culture. Not culture, just like a whole, I mean, yeah, kind of culture. I've never grown up near a city. The closest city to me is pretty far, like a good 2 hours. So I never like had the experience growing up in like a city, and I was kind of thrown into that. And I feel a lot better. I feel ready for next year. I also feel like I know what to expect more, which is, like I was saying, important for me. I hate uncertainty. But yeah, all right. I'm gonna keep cooking, actually, because things are looking done. I'll be back in a second. I think this is my third time filming this, and I still haven't finished these questions. Each time I've been interrupted by, well, the first time obviously I was interrupted by the state park ranger, and then the second time I was interrupted by my parents. I'm back today to finally finish this video. Today I'm going to be cooking some like healthier chicken tenders. What did I make last time? I made the burrito last time and it was actually really good. Except actually I didn't put it in a tortilla because we ran out. I put it over rice and made like a little rice bowl. It was actually really good. I don't even remember what question I was on. Where did I leave off? Oh, I guess the idea that you can feel so lonely but never be alone. And I know that sounds really cliche to say, but it's so true when it comes to college. Like you are surrounded by people like 100% of the time. A lot of the time I felt so isolated and so alone, even when I was living with another person. What was I gonna say next? Oh, I guess how time feels differently at college. I think that's a big one that I didn't really think about. But because I was doing the same thing day in, day out every week for like, I don't know, 15 weeks straight, I kind of like got so completely drained, and I just didn't feel like, the weeks didn't feel linear in some ways. Like it didn't feel like every week was the same amount of time. Oh, this one was huge. This one was like, at college, I found that I was so creatively drained. Like I had no desire to create. I really had no creative endeavors at all. For better or for worse, that was a thing that happened. Here's the thing. For me, there's like a balance between like college life, which is like focusing on my major, doing the major stuff, and then creative life, which is more like when I have time down, which was kind of never in college. I never got like time off. I was either thinking about work or I was doing work. Sorry you're seeing so much raw chicken in this video. Oh my god. But yeah, I mean, it's something that makes me really sad because obviously I'm a creative person. I hope that I can find a balance with that next year because it's something that's really important to me. I like to creatively challenge myself. I was able to find a way to do this through my major sometimes because as I've talked about before, I write a lot of papers. There's just a lot of like writing for my major. So through that, I can be creative and like use different word choice, which I do enjoy. Sorry, if you can't see what I'm doing, I'm just coating the chicken in egg panko. I don't know. It's sad that I felt creatively drained at college. I feel like you're supposed to do the opposite. But I guess it's fine because, I don't know, I'm someone who values a work and creative life separation, work and personal life. That's why I kind of like gave up on the creative side of a career, which sounds really sad, but it's something that I've been thinking about for a while, and I realized like, okay, this is the way it has to be. I'm passionate about the major that I'm in, which is political science, if you didn't know. So I think that's good. I find it interesting. I also am excited by the career opportunities that are in this area of study. But yeah, I guess I want to talk about my major now, because choosing your major is like one of the most important parts about college. It's what you're doing at college. I knew for a fact that I was extremely passionate about political science and interested in political theory. Like I was reading political theory books in high school for fun, and I still read them now. So I think that's a good sign. I also just I don't know, I feel like it makes the most sense for my life and my hobbies and my passions. Cause you know, as much as I have given up on a creative future, I still can have a pathway, or at least use my background in film work as a launching pad to help me with this career. I feel like I know what's effective when it comes to filming, editing especially, which is a good skill to have in, I guess, just in any modern career world, but also just specifically political science, because multimedia is such a big part of politics these days. So I don't know. There's still hope for me. It's not, but it's also I'm not sad about leaving the prospect of doing film behind. It's just something that I've kind of deducted. It's kind of the natural solution, if that makes sense. But yeah, I like my major. I do. I'm taking an online class that's specifically tailored to the exact work I want to do, and I'm finding it really interesting. So I think one other thing I want to talk about specifically my major is the prospect of higher ed above my undergraduate degree and maybe law school, which is whoa, law school, whoa, commitment, whoa, so I don't know. I still need to figure that out, but law school hasn't been on my horizon lately, which is scary. I'm still a teenager. Oh, I totally did not season these at all. Oh, I guess okay, this one's important. No one cares about you. And I think that's a drastic overstatement. Obviously, I mean, I'm being facetious a little bit, but it's kind of mostly true. No one around you is thinking about you. They're really only thinking about how they're being perceived. It takes a while for someone to actually care about you. You know, it takes a little bit of trust and compassion. People aren't gonna judge you your first week because you are wearing an ugly shirt. I think that's what I'm trying to get at. No one's gonna judge you for one specific thing that you posted on Instagram one time 3 years ago, you know? I think people worry a lot about how they're perceived at college, and I think that's a direct result of TikTok and social media. I'm just throwing a spice rub on these. I'm hoping it does something. Oh my god. But yeah, no one cares about you. Get over yourself. You are awesome in your own way. You are nuanced. You are creative. Keep your head down and keep it to yourself if you think people are talking about you. If they're talking about you for no reason, fuck them. No one believes them. They're low. They're not worth your energy. Sorry, had to say it. Yeah, but in the most sincere way ever, no one cares about you at all. At all. And once you realize that, it's super liberating, because you can kind of fall into your own character and kind of get into that. I was kind of lucky to work that out before I got to college. I kind of got more comfortable with myself, and you learn quick when you're actively dealing with it. So now I just literally don't care what other people think, which is really liberating. What's next? Hustle culture. Bro, this one's crazy, especially in DC. Hustle culture is real. It's scary too. Maybe it is my school, because I've heard my school is very career oriented and connection based or whatever. The people are so toxic when it comes to grades, work ethic, internships, all of that. And I guess I dealt with that a lot in high school too, but it's kind of just a different ballgame when it gets to college, because literally your career and your future. But yeah, hustle culture has definitely gotten to me. That's something I'm trying to work better at. It's just so hard in DC because everyone there is so fast paced. So I don't know. Yeah, hustle culture sucks and I need to work on that a lot. I need to not just be focused on my career and just be focused on my future. I need to like breathe and, and look around me for a little bit. Hi. So I know you're probably thinking, wow, why do you end the video again? What happened this time? I apologize. My parents came home and I didn't want to bother them again. So I ended up finishing the chicken nuggets. They were really good. They tasted like they were from a restaurant and they were made in the air fryer, so they were not too unhealthy. And they were delicious. So I recommend. Also, I have a mustache now. That's where we are. College feels like forever ago at this point. I finished editing up until what you've seen so far, and it's been almost 2 months since I've gotten home. That's crazy. The time flew by. I've roughly maybe 45 days till I go back, so I'm more than halfway through my summer, which is crazy. But yeah, just to pick up where I left off, I'll get into updates later, but the food at my school was so bad. This was a big thing for me. As we know, I gave up vegetarianism, like I said earlier, but like it was so awful that like my first semester I came home and even looking back at my video from October, I looked so malnourished. You could see in my face. It was bad. The latter portion of first semester I like started eating more and I just felt like shit because all our food was like poison. It was soaked in canola oil and bad stuff. So yeah, the food at my college was a big thing. I ended up cooking a lot in my dorm. I got a lot of frozen meals from Trader Joe's. I would also I'd figure out ways around it. I would literally, some days I would just eat a plate of beans from the dining hall, or I'd go off campus, one of the two. But it was really bad. So that's just something to note before going to college because we will be struggling food wise. Okay, this one is one that I've been developing and formulating in my head. It's the thought that I don't have to live in two separate spheres at college. That was something that I kind of inherently did when I got to college. I was like, this is my college life and then this is my home life and they're two separate things. And I didn't inherently act differently, but I feel like I did. I feel like there was parts of me that I didn't show my first year because I associated them with living at home. But I'm realizing those two people, those two spheres of my life can intersect, and that's all right. That's actually healthier. It's less draining. So I need to focus on that more. It did feel like college was a double life though, because how much of a change it was, and I kind of associated my identity with this room, my town, my house, my car, my friends at home, and this stripped away from me, so it was really just me left. So I don't know. It's something I'm trying to get better at next year. Just in my own head, formulating the idea that I'm the same person here and at college. Sorry if that's really conceptual. I just thought I needed to say that. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I don't really have that much else to add. Overall, my first year was pretty good. I think it could have gone a lot worse, which is good. I also think there was things I could have done better, but it's fine. I can't hold myself to these perfect standards, and I'm not going to. So I learned a lot. I feel like a whole new person, and I hate saying that, but I genuinely do. I feel like I've gained another lesson, another experience, which is all life really is. Whether that be going on a new date, meeting a new friend, moving to a new city, it's all learning experience, and you take that learning experience and use it in the future, which is something I just find really cool. And college is obviously meant for learning, which was one of the best parts. I love learning. I love education. So that was good. But yeah, one big learning experience. I know what to do next year. I feel a lot more equipped. I was saying this to my friends, but freshman year felt like I was just I was standing and throwing things at the wall and seeing what stuck. But now, next year, I feel like I know exactly what to do, which is good. And I like knowing that I'm going in, knowing what the school's like, who my friends are, what I value, what my major is. I have a path set forward. I've heard from a lot of people that your sophomore year, it's you figure yourself out a lot more, which I'm hoping. But yeah, I'm proud of myself. I really am. I don't want to open up too much. I don't like doing that too much. But a part of me never thought or formulated the idea that I would even live this long. So the fact that I'm 19, in a whole different region of the country, having like my life kind of not really, barely planned out, just like having any semblance of what my life could be like in the future. That's really cool and something that, you know, I actually could have never formulated. I've said this before, but I'm the type of person where things don't really hit me until I'm experiencing them. Like I ruminate a lot on the future, but like I really cannot fully conceptualize it until I'm in that moment. So once I got through freshman year, I feel like I'm able to do that a little more. I'm able to like think about my future a lot more in a healthier way too, which is good. I'm excited for next year. I think I'm ready to go back. I'm gonna miss the conveniences of living at home, but I want to have fun again. College was fun. I also just love being around kids my age and like having the opportunity to meet new people constantly. Meeting new people is one of the coolest things I do. I love it. It's like you have new learning experiences from another person and you have more opportunities to have like these connections, these like nuanced connections. I think that's the coolest thing about life. So yeah. All right, I'm sorry this video was such a mess. This video was hella planned out too. Like I had like a whole list on my computer, but life happened and that's fine. I hope it kept the video interesting. I'm aware that this video is very long, so I do apologize. If you're going to college, or if you're in college, or you're about to go to college, or even just dealing with a new phase of your life, I hope this video is of value because, I don't know, not a lot of people talk about like, well, I think people do talk about the difficulties of moving to college, but like the specifics of it, and I don't know. I also hope, and I know that like me spitballing about my first year will help me like comprehend it better, if that makes sense. I'm sorry for not uploading as much. I took a summer class this past month and that really took up a lot of my time. I've also been working like 30-40 hours a week, trying to save up, trying to like get my finances good. You guys are the best. Thank you for sticking around even if I don't post for a couple months, you know. That's just how it goes. All right. Bye, guys.